So, what is your name and where were you on 9/11?
Well, my name is Jeffrey Smith, and my office was at 170 Broadway, right up here in Maiden Lane. We opened the showroom at 10 o'clock in the morning. Actually, I was on the way down here. A second plane hit. People are standing here, everyone, watching the buildings burning and burning and burning, you know, and then something happened. There was visible light sources inside the building. There was a crackling sound in the air. And then it came over the police handhelds, and it came over the fire handhelds right next to me. We have explosions and collapses in the building. This is from people between the 20th and 30th floor. Search teams in the 20th, 30th floor were reporting this far, far below the burning.
An eyewitness who said there was an explosion on floor 7-8.
Warren Street because of the secondary explosion. We've got numerous people covered with dust from the secondary explosion.
I think a bomb went off in the lobby first, then a plane hit the building. Then another plane hit the other building. But when I was coming through the doors on the other side of the Trade Center, either they blew the lobby up or something, because it blew the glass out of the doors and knocked us all down, and I got smoke and everything on me. I just feel a little shook up because I got blasted, you know.
He was in an explosion. He was in the lobby, and the third explosion, the whole lobby collapsed on us. Everybody was inside the building, waiting to go upstairs, and they just let loose. Everything just let loose inside the building.
So what you told me is that there was a plane or whatever hit the building, then a secondary explosion.
It was like 3 explosions after that. We came in after the fire. We came when the fire was going on already. We was in the staging area inside the building, waiting to go upstairs. And they exploded. The whole lobby collapsed on the lobby inside.
People don't understand. There may be more. Any one of these fucking buildings could blow up. This ain't done yet.
Where exactly were you when you heard the firefighter radios going off talking about explosions on the 20th floor? Were you near a firefighter?
Everybody was near firefighters. They were ubiquitous. Everybody with a scan, and also everybody with a scanner in the city of New York, in Jersey, in Staten Island. Everybody with a scanner heard that. Okay, that's why this widespread disbelief, because of what they actually heard and saw that day. Okay, now they can lie on a stack of Bibles saying that this has been well investigated. It has not. And then, no matter what you believe about 9/11 happening that day, and that should be amazingly investigated, there's no doubt about what happened after 9/11, when they damn well knew how toxic this cloud was. Why? Because the U.S. Geologic Survey flew their instruments from Golden, Colorado, where the School of Mines is, where they make Coors beer, and they deployed them around the burn. So they damn well knew by day 3 or 4 how complexly and powerfully toxic this cloud was. And they all told everybody come back to work, come back to work.
Now, you were here and you got affected by the dust. You were hit with the dust cloud. And how has your health changed ever since? Well,
I had my immune system shut off for about 2 years. It was like having AIDS. That was fun. My stomach stopped making enzymes, so I had to have enzymes every day to digest any food. My blood chemistry went crazy. I still have constant headaches. I have constant stomach problems. All right. There were months where I couldn't feel my feet 3 times a day. I had neuropathy, which now has disappeared. Constant skin rashes that came and went. Eye problems. All right. And remember, the minute, I live in Brooklyn Heights, so you don't have to tell me about Lawrenceville, New Jersey. That's another secret English base in America. So when Christy Todd Whitman, who's one of the real establishment down there, started this stuff, the air was clear. I ran and I got a 4-element mask from MSA. Optimized, the 4 elements were optimized to the dangers. Of course there's going to be mercury. Of course there's going to be lead. Of course there's going to be an atmosphere that had the alkaline of Drano. Of course there was going to be PAHs. Of course. So you get a mask with the elements optimized that. I bought the filters. I changed them every 2 days. I was there 2-3 hours a day to pick up the checks and bring them to the bank, because you know what? There were burglaries in all these buildings around here. All the cops were in the pit and the burglars were going crazy, taking everything out of these buildings. Well, of course, that's partially a setup with the managements. We all know that. But it was a wild scene down here. The bottom line is, with all the cautions that I took and all what I know about environmental science, I ended up on 14 medications. The atmosphere in my office ate into the paintings on the walls. It destroyed both the oils and the acrylics, which are very different from each other chemically. What the hell is that doing to humans? And now what? Now you see what's going on?
And the doctors, you said the doctors were having a hard time diagnosing what was happening with you.
First of all, I don't know what the New York Medical Society said to these doctors. But most of these doctors, the minute you mentioned 9/11, they couldn't wait to throw you out of their office. All right? I found when you didn't mention it and you just went in there and look, I'm having these symptoms, then you got far deeper into the test. They would make tests more available. The minute they heard 9/11, they basically wanted you out of their office. They didn't want to be involved. I don't know why that was the case, but I found tremendous resistance. Then everybody was funneled through Bellevue and their asthma clinic. They treated me wonderfully, but still, they basically took tests which they knew would be negative or minimal. Listen, first of all, every one of these hospitals refused to do a viewing of the lungs. They didn't want to put anything down your lungs and take a look down there. I had to have them fight to put down my airways here, and the thing is, it looked like chopped hamburger. Okay? I felt like I was having a heart attack with chest pains for 1.5 years after this. And that's with the highest industrial mask optimized to the known dangers. So now you have to ask yourself, what else was released? This is like the Agent Orange thing. This isn't Agent Orange. What was in Agent Orange? You know, all those suspects that people had. Who knows what was really released here? Because the U.S. Geologic Survey, did they really release what they found or not? Okay? There were vast doubts about that. I sat through 2 days of the NIST hearings, which was uptown at 50th Street in Lexington. After 2 days, I walked out. It was a whitewash. It was a laughable whitewash. The guy from the New York Times was calling it a whitewash privately to me.
Yeah, it definitely was a whitewash.
Now, the bottom line is that they doused all these people. Now you see what they're doing. There is a vast body of health science, of compounds, sometimes simple, very cheap compounds, which inhibit the development of disease in toxically exposed people. This whole population is being given no access to that. These are standardly used in Europe. Why aren't they being brought here? Why is there no preventive medicine being done? You know what they're doing now? They want you to sit and take basically mood-altering drugs, all right? They want you to take antidepressants, which do work for headaches, okay? And now what are they doing? They're sitting back, they're doing no preventative, and now they're sitting back and watching what develops. You know what this is? They know goddamn well what was released down here. They know goddamn well what people were doused with, and now they're sitting back and they're watching who drops dead of what. This is a huge morbidity and mortality study. They're very deliberate what they're doing. This is human experimentation. This is human experimentation, what they're doing on these people. They know very well what they're doing, and they're not making any alternative, and they're not making any really effective stuff available. You know why? Because that interrupts the experiment.
Well, I thank you so much for having the courage and heart to speak out. Hopefully we can make a difference by having your voice out there, and you're a part of that, and I thank you.
Listen to me. Silence really is death in this matter. There's something else. This is an assault not only on the victims here. I wore a mask, so I know the dangers, and I got 0.001% of what other people got, if that. I'm very lucky. The people that are working here 8 hours a day day after day after day. They were exposed to more than the guys in the pit. Why are the guys in the pit the standard? Now, we have to respect them. But what about the hundreds of thousands of workers out here who now have serious problems and are either in denial or the doctors are minimizing this to them? I hear the stories all the time. So you know what? The more noise you make, the better. And this is more than an assault on this city. This is more than an assault on the people who are the direct victims. This is an assault on the basic trust of people for their society and for their government. So this is an assault on this country. It's assault on the basic stuff that holds this country together as a society. And when your country is under attack, silence is treason.
Just like Martin Luther King said, during times of universal deceit, silence is betrayal. And I thank you so much for speaking out, Jeffrey. You're the man. Give me a hug. Thank you, brother.
You're embarrassing.
Thank you, brother.
God bless you.
God bless you.
Bin Laden didn't blow up the projects. It was you, nigga. Tell the truth, nigga. Bush knocked down the tower. Tell the truth, nigga. Bush knocked down the tower. Tell the truth, nigga. Bin Laden didn't blow up the projects. It was you, nigga. Tell the truth, nigga. Bush knocked down the tower. Tell the truth, nigga. Bush knocked down the tower.
I pledge no allegiance, nigga. Fuck the president's speeches. I'm baptized by America and covered in leeches. The dirty water that bleaches your soul and your facial features, drowning you in propaganda that they spit through the speakers. And if you speak about the evil that the government does, the Patriot Act to track you to the type of your blood. They try to frame you and say you was trying to sell drugs and throw a federal indictment on niggas to show you love. This shit is run by fake Christians, fake politicians. Look at their mansions and look at the conditions you live in. All they talk about is terrorism on television. They tell you to listen, but they don't really tell you their mission. They funded Al-Qaeda and now they blame the Muslim religion. Even though Bin Laden was a CIA tactician, they gave him billions of dollars and they funded his purpose. Fahrenheit 9/11, that's just scratching the surface.
Bin Laden didn't blow up the projects. It was you, nigga. Tell the truth, nigga. Bush knocked down the tower. Tell the truth, nigga. Bush knocked down the tower. Tell the truth, nigga. Bin Laden didn't blow up the projects. It was you, nigga.